Yes, it's time for another episode of Contradicted Codcast, where Tuna, as per usual, spends more time talking about herself than the actual subject matter she is supposed to be talking about. Also, just like normal, Tuna manages to contradict everything she had said and posted since the last Codcast. I believe a goldfish's memory lasts longer than Tuna's, but that's what too much narcotics does to you. Anyway, let's get into it.
Why are we making whatever this is? Why is whatever this is in production? Why?
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I just ate this little tuna fish, I do not fit. Life's a call and make y'all it. I just ate this little tuna fish, I do not fit. Life's a call and make y'all it. I just ate this little tuna fish, I do not fit. Life's a call and make y'all it. I just ate this.
Welcome to another episode of Tanya's Talk, and thank you for listening.
Oh, here we go again. Boring!
Since leaving the hospital, things have continued to be quite chaotic. After the first 4 days at the hotel, I was more than ready to be back home and around my family. My head felt a lot clearer and I was able to cope with more than I had been.
You serious?
I guess coping means pissing, crying, moaning, and posting shit everywhere. Shit that nobody cares about because you choose to be with Nitty and you haven't learned after 2 years that he has destroyed you and you have destroyed him.
Stupid.
A few weeks ago, when I first heard about the fight, I wasn't in agreement of it. I hadn't even reached the point of concern if Kevin was going to be injured, as the problems it had caused laid heavy on my mental health.
Okay. The lie detector determined that was a lie.
So have you've not kicked off with him going to do the fight tonight then?
Say again?
So you've not kicked off about him doing the fight tonight then?
Why would I kick off?
Because I know you were ringing his phone up last night. Come on, you don't want him to do it. I know you don't want him to do it.
I have zero interest. Zero interest. That will be TikTok. I'll probably say it once again about that.
Not at all.
I haven't said it. I have no interest in what he's doing.
So have you two broke up now? Are you all done?
I mean, him done.
So that phone call completely contradicts your Codcast. You and Kevin always get caught out in lies. Because you forget what you have said, and because your lies are based on other lies. And when you do that, they stick out like Pinocchio's nose.
I'll always ask Kevin if he understands why something is wrong, and if he doesn't, I'll explain why. Then the decision to carry on is his to make.
Well, that shows how bad a partner you are. Because a true partner will do anything to protect their boyfriend or girlfriend from taking the wrong path no matter what. Even friends do that. That proves again that Tuna only cares about herself, which we knew already from the classic narcissist we have seen over the last few years.
So he told me the HS had agreed to him and Pully fighting. He would be getting £500 for showing up, and the winner would get an extra 4.5k.
I'll play the Instagram message. You want me to play it? Where he says how much I'm getting. He talks it. I will play it. 100% he's paying me. You ready? Alright, so bro, I've got boxing promotion. I know you want to box Pully. And he's down to do it on my promotion. So there'll be like 100,000 people watching on Instagram live. With like news to have a boxing fight. What I'll do as well is if you win that boxing fight, you get 10k.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Don't tell me it's doctored. That voicemail was a lie. And you want to take HS Tiki-Taki to a small claims court. Like you were taking me, Zippy, G-Crew, Nivea, The Sun, No Face, Tommy No Neck, Dave Dorans, Cheza, Vendetta, Simon, all to court for defamation of character. They wouldn't entertain any of your cases, unlike the one I have against you. This included the criminal one.
Knowing that Kevin is quite often gullible and often gets things wrong, he'd asked me to contact HS to confirm the agreement. Now deep down, I straight away knew that no money would be exchanging hands, but telling Kevin this was like digging a hole in water. So I contacted HS asking what's the deal with Kevin, and most importantly, to not allow hate on me and my family, and not to allow hate on Kevin.
Nobody cares! Nobody! And you need to shut up!
Again proving you both must be controlling of the situation. Did Mike Tyson, Floyd Money Mayweather, ever say, "I want all my haters blocked from watching on any TV or pay-per-view, commenting or getting a ticket for my weigh-in fight"? No, because you don't control the situation. Kevin likes to say he is famous. If he doesn't want to deal with haters, then get off social media, get a real job, seek help.
He replied saying that if Kevin wins, he would be getting recognition, the fight would bring him followers who he could later duel, and if he was to win, he could get him a place on Misfits. There was no mention of money to me, and he also stuck to his word in the beginning, and I didn't see anything bad about me. I stressed to Kevin that there is no money as far as I've been told. HS did however say to Kevin that he would give him £500 and the winner would take 4.5k.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop your fucking lying.
Kevin didn't win, so in my opinion it doesn't even matter if this money was getting paid or not. The £500 would have been nothing for HS to pay out as a goodwill gesture for Kevin showing up.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So you expect Kevin to get special treatment for turning up? Really, Tuna? Is that why Kevin doesn't go to the dentist anymore, as he doesn't get a sticker and lollipop? Just for turning up and being a good boy?
Which in honesty is something a lot of us wouldn't have done. So morally, yes, he should have. However, Kevin makes it impossible to fight his corner when he goes live and talks about issues and people the way that he does. So at that point, the morals of HS paying Kevin no longer really exist, and for that reason he loses out.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich, Chef Ramsay.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
So moving on from my opinion on the money side of it, Kevin lost a lot due to that fight. I tried to stress to him so desperately that he would most likely be being used. People would use me to provoke a reaction from him. Kevin has never listened to me, regardless of me correctly predicting the outcome every time. With my mental health as it wasn't something that was going to be a good idea that he did. Myself and others who care about Kevin's welfare had tried telling him the same thing. He went as far as telling one friend that they were stirring trouble, when all they had done was said what they expected the outcome to be. Kevin went to a face-off. We all knew it wasn't going to go well, not for Kevin or for me. And sure enough, as predicted, the same group of men in their 20s started using me to trigger Kevin.
Are you stupid or something?
So again making it about you. The fight had nothing to do with, but you. Just like Kevin, ignore the facts. Why is a 45-year-old man hanging around with young men and boys between the ages of 14 and 25? Also, you forgot to mention that Kevin was the reason the weigh-in got kicked out the hotel.
Just for views. I was getting messages not to watch. However, I did later see it on my TikTok For You page. I was hurting. I was hurting so much that he could even so much as be around people who he viewed to be killing me. I couldn't be around women who were tormenting him. My emotional state deteriorated. as he started the following day. That he had stated the following day that he had enjoyed himself. The knife just kept twisting. All my head could think about was why. I barely ate anything in the weeks that this was all being hyped up. But Kevin wasn't backing down. He was doing this fight for me.
You serious? All he saw was the money.
As he claimed. He said that Pali had destroyed my life when he stole Kevin's phone.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
But regardless of the truth of this, I did not consider it to be appropriate, as the entire event was clearly about entertainment and clout rather than professional boxing. He couldn't understand why I disagreed, and that he was just paraded my business and my bad memories all over TikTok for a boxing match. That was until I put it the other way to him. I asked him how would he feel if I offered a fight to a certain person that he claimed abused him. He said that that would be wrong, and why would I even say that? Point proven. A few weeks ago, I did say to Kevin that if he can't stop doing the things he does, I'm no longer prepared to explain, but I will show him with like-to-like behaviour. If he were to be diagnosed with MPD, one of the traits are lack of empathy. They can, however, feel their own pain, and I've shown this to be true with Kevin during this boxing event. So things became worse after the first face-off, and Kevin became more distant. He said he would give me the entire £5,000 to get treatment that I'd wanted for a while.
Yeah, right.
I told him that I wouldn't want anything that didn't come from good, no matter the price.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
And I then advised that if there were to be any money, that he'd think of getting a place to live as a priority. For which he agreed. He then went on to tell a friend and TikTok that he was going to be going on holiday. So regardless of me accepting the money or not, the genuinity just didn't seem to be there. Now I was really overthinking, and he was allowing it. I started thinking that he didn't care what gets done to me. He didn't understand how fragile I was.
Part of this
Would you please shut the hell up?
And what he thought that he would gain took priority. Something that is going to be hard to forget. I didn't want to talk to him about the fight. I wanted nothing to do with it in the beginning. He didn't seem that bothered. One afternoon, I started to receive a load of messages. Did I know that Kevin had been to a face-off in Luton? No, I didn't. He hadn't told me. I felt every part of my body just tense up like I'd been winded in the back. I spoke with him on the phone and I asked, why wouldn't you just tell me? He said it was because he knew it would trigger me. So if that were to be the case, that may have been the safer and better option than hearing about it via messages from other people. And just as an overthinker would do, I started thinking, what else could he keep from me? I told him I just needed some space, some time out from us both, as I had to consider my mental health as my priority. Unfortunately, this didn't happen. One way or another, Kevin was making his presence known to me. And this obviously caused me to react. I phoned him to explain his behaviour to him, and from that, the phone calls started again. On the 13th of January, I was feeling really relaxed, no stress, and thought maybe I'd like to see him that evening. Maybe we could talk. By the afternoon of Valentine's Day, the situation had become too distressing, and he went home. I was so distraught that he had left, and he hadn't made any contact with regard to my mental well-being, and I just completely broke down.
Maybe because Kevin, being the narcissist he is, recognizes the narcissist you are, Tuna, and both of you must have the me attention. And if you're not getting it, then one narcissist will go too, where they can get that attention, hence why he left you.
Then to see him immediately on TikTok, dueling and hate being spread.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
So as you may have already noticed, my relationship jumps from one situation straight to the next. I've tried so hard to help Kevin understand his behaviour. What I've been doing recently is enforcing the saying, actions speak louder than words. I tell Kevin that his words have pretty much become meaningless, and it's important that he acts.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
He never did, and so therefore I am. I'm prepared to try, and I'm prepared to help for as long as I can, which has already been 2 years this April. But if I stop caring, I'll no longer be able to try. I've asked for Kevin's permission to discuss his mental health and how it may cause him to treat me and other people around him. In November last year, I was sent a video of someone called Cockney Ben. I was so nervous watching it, listening to him talk about creators on TikTok. I watched anxiously, waiting to hear what he was going to say about Kevin. The shock when, at the end of his video, he said, "Mr. TikTok, he's alright actually." Disgusting! And so with that, I messaged him to say thank you for not listening to trolls.
You mean the truth?
We had a short chat about Kevin, and Cockney Ben had just passed on some good friendly advice for Kevin to consider. We exchanged numbers so that we could speak to Kevin in a group regarding mental health. Other issues would have occurred that chat didn't happen. I sent a Merry Christmas to him on Christmas Day, as I did other people in my contacts. I didn't speak to him again until Tuesday the 13th of February, as he had posted a video about Kevin. I explained to him that I believe Kevin has NPD. He seems like a cool enough guy to me, and only concerned about my mental health, as to be fair, it has been put out there for people to see.
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You mean your self-diagnosed mental health. The funny thing is, this story is a copy and paste of every man who has come across Tuna. I know from experience. You be nice, try and help. Tuna flirts, gets rejected, then becomes the bitch we all know. Any man over the last few years who has fallen in the trap can agree with my statement there about her.
I didn't tell Kevin about the video straight away, other than someone had made a video defending me. Yes, I wanted to relish in it. I'd been through so much with Kevin, especially over the past few weeks, that I found the video quite funny. Why shouldn't someone speak up for me?
You weak-minded fool!
And there you have it. Tuna loosely admitting what we have all been saying. If you give her the smallest bit of attention that could be taken positively, then she will approach and cling on to you. It's the same reason she cheated on her husband so many times when she lived in Edinburgh.
I prepared him to watch it and told him not to react to me like as if it's my fault. I told him who it was, and he said, word for word, "Oh, him. He's alright, he is." Well, he didn't think so after watching the video, but he didn't react to me aggressively as he usually would. He called him a clout chaser and said that he wasn't going to give him clout by responding. Kevin says trolls don't get to him, but it was only now that I realised just how much he actually does listen to them.
Tell me, he didn't just say that.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Earth to planet Tuna. Earth to planet Tuna. Your listening device is malfunctioning. That made me laugh. You saying he listens to the trolls. If he did, he would have changed his behavior instead of carrying on. He wouldn't be ignoring any court-related matter and play the denial card. So again, another stray from the fish's mouth. Blatant lie. You really need to think before doing these codcasts.
And for how long has this been the case? What could they have said that he might have believed in the past? Anyway, Kevin messaged me saying there had been a lot of account names made up about me and Ben. So I told him that's obviously going to happen, just ignore them. He clearly couldn't, and this led to him asking to see my messages to Ben. To begin with, I refused to show him based on his reasons for wanting to see them.
Fucking bullshit!
Now really, nobody believes that bullshit coming out your mouth. If you had nothing to hide, you would show him. But I know from experience that you would have been flirting, sending unsolicited pictures, attempting to get some bedroom action, as Kevin couldn't satisfy anyone with his genitalia. So not a single person would believe that excuse, as you're a proven cheat multiple times, even while you've been with Kevin.
If I want to speak to men in a certain type of way, I'll always ensure that I'm single first. But remember, friendly doesn't equate to flirting. Unfortunately, not all men are able to think that way. So let's get that message out there. If I speak nicely to you or find you funny, it doesn't mean anything more than that. If you're sniffing around someone in a relationship, or you're happy to jump in someone's bed while the bed sheets are still warm, then you may wish to take a look at yourself.
Back to the man blaming from Tuna. You really play on that rhetoric, even more so since you got in contact with the no contact coach. You have the ability to say no as well.
Find some self-respect before trying to disrespect me. Anyway, let's get back on track. I sent the messages, but I didn't get an apology from Kevin. Ben had made a couple more videos. I don't, and I can't control what people say, feel or do. But Kevin felt that I should defend him. Now, my opinion is absolutely not. It's a dog-eat-dog world on TikTok. You have to watch out for number one. No one will have your back because no one really knows what's true, what's drama, and what's trolling. So this gave me the opportunity to show Kevin his behaviour towards me, rather than tell him, which he can't understand or believe. He had choices when he dueled or befriended people who had blatantly trolled or disrespected me. I pointed this out with someone called Aggie. Now this is a man who went out of his way to approach Kevin and to trigger him by disrespecting me.
If you don't like it, that's tough shit, you know?
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
The same man Kevin told me is the one affecting my mental health, the one who's killing me. However, this didn't seem to stop him posting a video of Aggie interviewing him at the boxing match. His reason was Aggie had jumped on him, and if he had said anything, everyone would have trolled him. Well, I strongly disagree with this being acceptable. So, in response to, will I defend him to another man on TikTok? Of course not. Firstly, Ben is a man. Defend him yourself. Then secondly, if I did defend Kevin, wouldn't that just get me trolled? So with that, I'd like to say how kind it was for Ben and his partner to support me. But as far as Ben not liking Kevin is concerned, that's not down to me. So a one-way thinking system for a narcissist. The same situation with Ben and Aggie, under different circumstances, but the expectation of what I should do is considerably different to how he dealt with people defending me. If you don't like something that your partner's doing, communication is always key. Now in Kevin's head, he said what he had to say, which wasn't delivered rationally, and then all is expected to be forgotten. Despite explaining what he should have learned from that situation, it's just time to move on from it. Unfortunately, this kind of example is only one example of how difficult it is to love a narcissist. Everything will always fall back on lack of empathy, no understanding that you are still thinking and hurting over whatever's just taken place. And then the self-importance comes straight into play. So not only do they want to move on as soon as you prove your point, but they'll consume you with their needs straight away, whatever their next plan is.
You describing yourself or Kevin? None of us know as you describing you both.
Whatever their problems are, whatever they may be needing. Now, none of us are qualified to diagnose Kevin, and I'm sure that people are having their own views on what they're seeing right now. Asperger's, MPD, or just pure abuse. With myself, is it anxiety, BPD, or just abuse?
And there you go. You have just very loosely admitted that you haven't been diagnosed with any mental health problems, except what you have read off Google.
I'm not wanting to walk away from my relationship thinking that it was abuse, despite it being emotionally abusive. Everyone sees Kevin every day, and over the years may have formed opinions and changed those opinions. So collectively, let's try to understand mental health, and that way we can then identify abuse. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be talking quite openly, honestly, and going deep into my emotions and Kevin's anger. My life and my mental health has been talked about by others, so now I'm here to say exactly how it is.
Oh, hell no! Stop it. Get some help.
Kevin and I are still currently in a relationship. I have explained to him what I'm doing, and I have no reason to hold back. Kevin has started the process of seeking a possible diagnosis